I wasn't ready, Papi. I wasn't ready. Here we go. We are jumping into the semifinals, and if you're in the chat, predictions will soon be open. I just need a moment to set up the players, set up the teams, to get everything going. Make sure that the predictions were paid out. Beautiful. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. ByuN has been on fire, has been winning everything recently, and we'll see if he can be stopped. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic. And if you're in the chats, I got you, Papi. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. ByuN has been on fire. ByuN, he was last night's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. He was this morning's Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion. And ByuN was also this weekend's KSL champion. ByuN has been cleaning house. ByuN has been competing in every single weekly tournament in KSL, STC, TTT, and the WardiTV Monday as well. ByuN has been an animal. He's been on that grind. He's been winning everything. And will ByuN win another weekly? Oh boy, still too early to say. We're still in the semifinals, but you know, ByuN, he wants that paycheck, Papi. He's cleaning house. Let's go. But now, economic opener. Racks expand out of ByuN. Back at home, we have Classic going for a gate expand, gate cyber expand even. Standard openers all around, or I should say economic opener out of ByuN, standard opener out of Classic. Let's go. I'm just going to be setting up the other match as well, but both semifinals will be covered, don't you worry. We got you. And these will be best of threes. Meanwhile, Classic going into a Forge opener. This is not seen too often. Okay. It's going to be a Forge opener here from Classic. With that rushing into +1, this should be leading into fast +2. This can lead into a Colossus-based opener with a +2 timing. Meanwhile, ByuN, 3cc, 3 racks. Very fast 3cc has been thrown down, and ByuN should be throwing down additional racks behind this. Very greedy play from the Terran player. Very greedy. And I'm concerned for Classic. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure this is designed to go for a +2 timing. We'll see if we rush into like charge, for example. We could be working towards a +1 charge all-in. That's also a viable option for a Classic. If it is not an all-in, I'm concerned just because of how greedy ByuN is being. And if ByuN gets away with this, he will snowball out of control in the mid-game. Like a Terran player that's able to get away with this kind of build can just skyrocket out of control. It's crazy. Meanwhile, Robo. It looks like +1 into Colossus into +2. That's what this looks like for the time being. We'll see if that's the case. Twilight Council has been thrown down. We'll see if this is for a Templar Archives or for charge, or both. I'm curious to see where Classic does take us. And the upgrades are going to be quite on point. Reaper goes for dives, gets eyes on the Robo, on the Twilight Council, and the Forge as well. ByuN sees everything. He sees all, he knows all. Oh boy. And we spoke about it earlier. Again, 3cc 3 racks. ByuN building up a bio-based army with Marines, with Stim. Knows to invest into Marauders now. And is this for the Temple Archives? No, it's for Blink. Okay, it's going to be +1 in Blink for the time being. Interesting. We have a 2-gate setup though, so Classic should be expanding with this. Like, this is not really the most aggressive start. Yeah. Third base is on the way, so this is going to be a +2 timing, as we assumed it was. Meanwhile, a shatter of Mark! Ah, Monsieur Slappy. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Ga, papi, ga. Bienvenidos. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session or just stream in general. Hope you had a great time. And welcome, everyone. Welcome to the WardiTV Monday #1. Many tournament organizers like ourselves, like Wardi, Steadfast, Chicken Man, all of us have all risen to the challenge, and we've all been hosting our own replacement tournaments. And this is the replacement tournament for ESL Open Cup Asia. The ESL Open Cups may have come to an end, or they might be on hiatus, but that doesn't stop the community from coming together. So a big shout out to Wardi, big shout out to all the community members that have come forward to start their own events. It's been amazing, it's been beautiful, it's been a lot of fun. So thank you so much for the raid. When it comes to the European replacement event, that is going to be hosted by Steadfast / Kalaris / Rotterdam in a couple of hours. I believe there should be a EU replacement tournament tonight. So don't you worry. If you're from the European region, if you want to play some StarCraft, then they got you covered. They got you covered with the... Is it called the KSR? The KFC? They got you covered. Oh, the KFC. Meanwhile, I mentioned earlier that with the fast forge into +1, looks like +2 with Colossus. There's the Bay, getting ready for Colossus production. Classic is being active and will attempt to delay the third, but again, ByuN is still building up. We'll soon take that third base. Marauders are amassing as well. And ByuN will soon break out, break free, and expand. As ByuN is going for the double drop on the right-hand side. Stalker's dipping in. Oh, they can threaten a dive into the main. No bunker, no tanks, no nothing in the main. Classic, he can go for it. But now chipping away at the CC. ByuN does respond. Classic doesn't commit. Not yet. And ByuN is getting away with his drop. Okay. There, Classic now diving into the main. Somewhat is going to be forced out, and ByuN will drop in the main base. Likewise, going for the tech, going for the forge. No, we rush into +1 attack, but +1 armor is denied. Not just +1 armor, charge as well. Twilight Council will fall. Not just that, ByuN once more going for the stalkers, going for the cannon, going for the mineral line. 2 probes go down. Classic races back home. And ByuN, he has gone away with his build. He shuts down, he denies the additional upgrades, takes his third base. And ByuN is looking solid. Aye. ByuN is secure, has an economic lead. Classic trying to be active with those stalkers. Colossus production has begun. But ByuN with the surround, oh my god! Comes in for the flank, shuts down the stalkers from every single angle as well. Some brutal losses for Classic at the same time. Classic does drop into the natural. A bit of a desperation move here from Classic. We'll get some SCVs. 3-4 SCVs going down. That is some economic damage, but the Prism is so low. And it will not escape. Oh, brutal pickoff. And now ByuN, there's nothing to stop him, nothing to slow him down. He can move out across the map. He can move out, and what is there at home? +1 charge lots and 1 Colossus. Oh boy. I mean, the force fields are going to be solid. The force fields can buy time, can slice up the army. ByuN has a supply lead. Force fields will catch 2 Marauders, not bad. Oh, there's some big tank shots going off. The tank boys are insane once again. Nice force fields, but ByuN, the hot pickup. He saves the boys. Saves the Marines, saves the Marauders, pulls back, overcharge is popped. But that tank is getting so much value in the back line. So many shots going off. And now a second tank has arrived. Vikings as well. The Colossus cannot engage, and the overcharge is about to run out. Because of the overcharge, Classic was able to buy time, but now it has run out. Yeah, ByuN baiting the army into tank fire, into tank range. Colossus under fire, Colossus goes down, GG gets called, and ByuN will take game #1. GG. Oh my god, a very intense game 1, a very peculiar one as well. It was an interesting build at a Classic rushing into the earlier upgrades, and we saw that ByuN was vulnerable to a blink dive into the main, but Classic, he didn't really feel confident, he didn't go for it, he was being a little bit more tentative. As a result, ByuN got away with that double drop. Double drop across the map, got so much damage, so much value, denying the upgrades, denying charge, denying +1 armor, and forcing Classic back home. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Oh. GG, well played. We are getting into game #2. We're going to be loading into Oceanborn. And I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for an ace match to get the most out of these two players. But we'll see. The pressure is now on Classic. The pressure is on. It's catching up in the chat. Here we go. So there's someone asking for a link. Ah, Kira's got you in the chat. Got you. The KSR. There you go. As sporting in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, leading the series 1-0. And one game away from making it to the grand finals. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. Down in this series, up against the wall. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. Pressure is on. It is Classic. And again, ByuN has been on a tear. He's been winning every weekly over the past couple of days. The KSL, the TTT, the STC, and now the WTM. Is that what it's called? What's the acronym? WTV. There you go. The Wardi Monday. The Wardi Monday as well. He wants it, Bob. He wants it. Wants all the cash prize money. ByuN has been putting in the hours, putting in the work. Now, is ByuN crazy enough to stay up and actually play in the European Weekly? I mean, there is going to be a big disadvantage to that, in the sense that he most likely won't be able to wake up for the Ursasaurus Cup, so ByuN will most likely skip out on the KSR, but should be there in the morning for the Ursasaurus Cup instead. For those that are unfamiliar, the Ursasaurus Cup is the replacement for the NA Weekly. Oh, and last week we were the replacement for the NA Weekly, but we have since rescheduled our event to accommodate. There's too many weeklies, so our event is now on Sundays instead of Mondays. So our weekly was yesterday, and the Ursasaurus is in how many hours? Like 10 hours? Something like that? It's coming. I have to check the calendar. As ByuN once again going for an economic opener, going for a Rax expand. Sorry, 11 hours. In 11 hours and 18 minutes. It's going to be the Ursasaurus Cup. There you go. Oh, that means I can sleep in a little bit. Let's go. A little bit later. Same build, by the way. ByuN once again going 3CC, 3CC into 3-Ax. The same build that ByuN went for in the last game. And across the map, Classic, he does adjust, is going for a Stargate opener instead. Interesting. Now, I am a little bit concerned here for Classic. We've seen this dynamic before. Basically, with the Stargate opener, you have Phoenixes to harass, of course, to try to gain map control, and they will be able to gain map control, but harassing the mineral lines when we have a bio-heavy composition is going to be difficult. On top of that, the third base won't be harassed because by the time Phoenixes move out, the third CC is already going to be done. So there's a lot of pressure on Classic to gain value here with these Phoenixes. We'll see if he can. See if he can. As the first Phoenix is out, second Phoenix on the way. ByuN has yet to scout. He hasn't seen anything this game. No SCV scout, no Reaper scout. The Reaper was zoned away. And ByuN is trying to get some scouting information. Looking for a way in. Classic is on the patrol. Making sure that ByuN is denied. Oh! Does go for a dive. Does bypass the Stalker. Getting into the main. Scout some of the tech, and we'll get eyes on the Stargate. ByuN knows. ByuN is ready. Back at home setting up. Turrets are already being thrown down. Turret in the main. And we should be seeing a turret at the natural as well. So ByuN is securing himself. The Phoenixes have yet to really build up and get much damage. Not yet. Interestingly enough, okay, supply block. I was going to say that Classic stopped Phoenix production, but there was a bit of a supply block. And behind this, Classic is going into a Robo, into a Bay, into Colossus. So it's going to be Phoenix Colossus here from Classic. But I'm still concerned that these Phoenixes won't get much done. Won't get enough done. As Marines are in position, Phoenixes are zoned away. Again, with turrets, with marines, these phoenixes, there isn't really a way in. Now, on the one hand, yes, Classic has map control so he can take a third, and he can work towards Colossus. True. And by the time ByuN moves out, instead of there being one Colossus, there should be at least two. So the Colossus count is going to get higher a lot faster this time for Classic, as opposed to Game 1. But to counteract that, ByuN is going to have a lot of bio as well. Marines, Marauders are all building up. Classic will find an SCV, we'll find two even. Not bad. Two SCVs, two Marines. Yeah, ByuN out of position, and Classic does find damage. Very nicely done. It was imperative here for Classic to find a way in. Gets 5 SCVs, gets the hell out. So a very strong start for Classic. That should not have happened. There should not have been a weak point here in the defense of ByuN. So another SCV goes down. Colossus are building up. And Classic is still in this. He is in this as ByuN now takes a third. Taking advantage of his economy. And ByuN will soon move out. I say soon, he's still waiting for his upgrades. Waiting for Concussive Shell, Combat Shields, 1-1. The Medivacs, of course. And it is still only 4 Phoenixes. Okay, so a very low Phoenix count here for Classic. Focusing on that ground army. Not just Colossus, but units to support the Colossus. Charge, +1. Stalkers, Zealots, anything and everything here to keep Classic safe. You know, Phoenixes, they catch a Marauder, they catch another as well. So again, not bad. 2 Marauders. Very high value pickoffs. Getting damage done on the Medivacs as well. ByuN having a hard time moving out. And forces him away. And ByuN does retreat. Likewise, dropping international, but all the pieces are here. And a massive shutdown. We get one, we get both Medivacs. And Classic, he shuts down ByuN. ByuN bleeding out a lot of his bio already. I'm afraid to look, but that was 5 Marines, 5 Marauders, 2 Medivacs. Yeah, brutal losses there for ByuN. ByuN has to retreat, and now has to tech up. Third base getting saturated, Ghost Academy on the way, Widowmites as well. We are entering a longer game state. Now, ByuN still has the economic lead because of the insanely fast third, that is true. But Classic is catching up with that fourth. Classic is recovering, thanks to the initial trades as well. Getting to +2, Blink, second Robo, ready for Disruptors or Immortals. Either or. Both viable. Phoenixes, once again, they do find another SCV. And we have our answer. It's not going to be Immortal, it's going to be Disruptor production for Classic. Disruptors are amassing. ByuN going for the Mule Hammer. Rotating over. Classic threading a drop into the main. Phoenix is trying to find out another way in. Run into the main army. So far, ByuN defending well. Shuts down the Zealots. Drop is denied. But as ByuN is contained on 3 bases, the Disruptor count is getting higher and higher. Yeah, more Disruptors on the way. Still anyone's game. ByuN getting to a second starport. With this kind of setup, he could start working towards Liberators and a Fusion Core. Once he got a 4th. Speaking of, 4th base is now being floated over. But for now, it is just going to be a Bio Ghost Viking. ByuN going to be relying on those EMPs. The 4th base is now being taken. Boys setting up. Likewise, Classic expanding, taking a 5th. Or double expanding even. Getting a 5th and a 6th base as well. There's that Fusion Core that we mentioned. Fusion Core into Liberator range. Into Lib production. ByuN is almost there. But Classic is also moving out. He is spotted by the scan. Prism dips in. Oh, the Prism goes down. But Zelce do get dropped into the mineral line. SCVs are falling. And the Fusion Core is delayed. Not bad. ByuN is racing back home. With that Liberator range going to be delayed as well. Disruptor's getting ready. ByuN does get the scan off. There's going to be 7 disruptors. Never goes up. Up. Ooh, some decent connections. And Marauders and a Ghost goes down. Massive pickoff. At the same time, Phoenixes, sorry, Zealots do hit the Planetary. Planetary does hold its own. Liberator range now on the way. Classic does force his way up the ramp. ByuN getting caught out. Nova's going off once again. Decent connections. There's only a couple of Novas left, but they connect with Marauders. Classic has to back off. That's a lot of buy, a lot of Marauders stemming in. Classic buying time. Zealots do reinforce. 1 Colossus went down. But that's a lot of, oh my god, that's a lot of Zealots. And there's no EMP. Yeah, there is no EMP. The Ghost went down earlier. Nice start stepping so far. ByuN kiting well. Shaving off a lot of Zealots. Avoiding the Nova. Getting another Disruptor. Oh my god, but there's no mines behind this. The Zealots, they just don't stop. The Sea of Zealots, they just keep going. And Classic is breaking through. Yeah, he's overwhelming ByuN. No EMPs, no Widow Mines. Novas, oh, they take down Marauders. And we're getting into the mineral lines. The SCVs are going down. Another massive warp in. The Zealots, they just, oh, they denied. A big denial, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Vikings forced to land. Liberators will hold the line just barely. That's 23 SCV kills. The economy of ByuN is crippled. Again, if that warp-in had completed, that could have been game. Then and there. Speaking of, the warp-in still does get underway. More disruptors have arrived. And ByuN, he's up against the wall. Letting out far too many SCVs. 3-3 is almost done. Again, the purification Novas earlier were insane. Clearing up every single Ghost. Ghosts have been rebuilt, but it doesn't matter. It's too little too late at this point. Classic is already remaxed. Just overwhelming ByuN. Rotating towards the left. Not quite getting the CC. Okay, going for the orbital. Oh, barely will not get it though. He survives. But again, Classic, I do think he does, or he can afford to just avoid the base, avoid the planetary, just go for the kill. Nice CMP on the disruptors. Yeah, it's going off though. And starting back the army. Oh my god. No major connections, but the Ghosts are exposed. They go down one after the other once again. The Nova doing a bit of friendly fire more than anything there. ByuN is holding. Impressive. But once again, he lost all the Ghosts. In that defense, ByuN lost every single Ghost. And once again, the third base has been broken. Zelce get into the mineral line. ByuN getting zoned away. Oof. Massive connection. GG gets called, and Classic will take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, Classic just being able to overwhelm. ByuN had some incredible Novas as well, and honestly had a really solid start getting into the mid-game. Was able to make the Phoenixes pay for themselves, was able to shut down the drop play early on. ByuN, he stumbled his way into the mid-game instead. Was shut down. And with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. And this could still go either way. Getting ready for that final game. As a reminder, the upper semifinals is going to be Rex versus Gumiho in a ZVT. Alright, jumping in. And here we go. The final game is going to be on Alcyone. Shouldn't be a surprise. One of the more standard maps of the map pool, very macro oriented. We could see a longer game, or we could see some more aggression here. We'll see, as ByuN is going for a 3cc build every game so far. And does that trend continue? We'll find out. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, being forced into the ace match. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Twisted Minds, tying up the series, forcing the ace match. It is Classic. Good. As ByuN starts off with a fake proxy Rax. Bit of a cheeky start here by ByuN, not uncommon to hide the Rax further back in the main, even at the natural location, or at either third base location as well. So even though this is a cheeky start, even though ByuN is hoping for an overreaction, Classic should be checking this location at some point. We'll see when he does though. You can see initially checking the main. So first things first, he checks further back in the main base, looking for the Rax. From here, he should be checking the natural and then one of the two third base locations as well. Or even just staying in the main, actually. Okay. There we go, just double checking, ensuring there is no Rax. Back at home, initial Zelts on the way. So ByuN is already doing some indirect damage. I say that, the Zealot is cancelled actually. Okay, Classic calling ByuN's bluff. Spots the factory, knows it's not committed. He is aware it is not committed here. So Classic is going to be safe and sound. And the game will progress. The game will progress from here. This is also a much more aggressive start for ByuN. It was double gas into a faster factory. Does mean that ByuN this time won't be going for as greedy of an opener as he did go for in Game 1 and Game 2. We'll see exactly how aggressive ByuN plans on being. Moving out with the Reaper. Dipping into the main. Stalker's in position. Scout is denied. And a Classic once again 2 games in a row going for the Stargate. It's going to be a Stargate opener for Classic. Should be into Phoenixes once again getting map control. This can be Phoenix into Colossus or Phoenix into Charge. We'll see what direction Classic does go in. As the Reaper Scout once again is shut down. Behind this, ByuN going for a 1-1-1. Tech Lab is on the way. This could be for an add-on swap into Banshees. We could see a Tech Lab being made here on the starport as well. We'll see where ByuN takes this. Okay, yeah, there's the add-on swap. Okay, we're going for the add-on swap. This should be for Banshee production into tanks as well. This has been very trendy as of late. Yep, we got Tech Lab on that factory. And there's the initial Banshee. If you've been watching TVP over the past couple of months, ever since DreamHack Dallas, this has been very, very trendy amongst the Korean Terrans and subsequently the European Terrans as well. Has been all the craze, for good reason. Can be very difficult to deal with. The Phoenixes are spotted though. And these Banshees can very easily be shut down. Classic can get a read on where they are. And shut down the Banshees. Classic dipping in. Going for the main. But last tank production was delayed, forced to make cyclones because of the phoenixes. And yeah, ByuN, he has to deviate. He has to deviate away, forced to make cyclones. ByuN is moving out though, being very active, trying to catch out the phoenixes. Very proactive even. Does take the Zelnaga. Third CC on location. ByuN being quite greedy. Banshee force back. Phoenix is coming in. ByuN will catch one of them. Ooh, let's try to. Gets a couple of shots off. Close. Calm down. But the game will progress from here. ByuN clearly just building up towards a longer game state. The Banshees were deflected. They haven't been killed, but they also haven't dealt any damage yet. So ByuN holding on to them. Hoping to catch Classic off guard. Classic back at home, expanding. Building up more Phoenixes. Immortal production has begun, just to be safe. And this should lead into a Bane to Colossus. Ooh, has ByuN killed one of his own Marines? Get this. Calm down, ByuN. But the Phoenixes were spotted. The Phoenixes are out of position, and that means it's go time for the Banshees. They head into the main base. Two Banshees can one-shot probes. They can, and they will. Oh my god, just like that. 4 or 5 probes going down. Phoenixes are across the map. They go for the mineral line. No turrets. Oh, ByuN being greedy. SCVs are also falling, but the Banshees are getting so much more damage. 12, 13, 14 probe kills. How many do they end up with? Up! Oh my god, 16. 16 probes go down. Meanwhile, across the map, Phoenixes are still just parked over the base. And ByuN focusing on the harass. Does lose 7 SCVs, but that was a better trade for ByuN. Was a better initial trade. Phoenix is moving out. Turret just now being thrown down. Can ByuN defend that mineral line? As that is, what, 6 Phoenixes? Patching reinforcements, going for the medevacs. Oh my god. Gets a mule. Gets a mule, dives into main. No turrets! No shot. ByuN getting caught with his pants down. Yeah, 6, 7 SCVs falling. ByuN not ready to the main. Cutting corners, getting punished for it. And it's all or nothing. ByuN, he just rallies across the map. Doesn't care. Not anymore. As he's sending everything, it's going to be 2 tanks, 2 cyclones, mass marine. Stim is about to finish. But the upgrades are still a ways away. And the move out is spotted. Classic getting ready. Does have 1 Colossus. ByuN doesn't commit. He's looking for the Phoenixes. Doesn't quite find them. And ByuN is calming down, rebuilding those SCVs. Unfortunately, we're missing a rally here at the 3rd. Yeah, I mean, messy from both sides. 2 Phoenixes get caught out. ByuN not mining efficiently here at the 3rd base. There we go. Now does notice. Getting into his own ghost production. 1-1 finishing up, getting into 2-2. It's been an intense game. Been very intense. Still no turrets. I mean, there's a turret further back, I should say. Getting another 5, 6 SCVs. Not like this. 6 more SCVs go down. The Phoenixes are out of energy. They just go for a scout. Instead, ByuN dropping into the natural does force a recall. At the same time, hits the 3rd. The Prism. Oh my god. Prism goes down. Massive pickup. Overcharge gets popped. Classic barely holding on. Yeah, being pulled apart. But it looks like he should be able to hold. Defends the natural, defends the 3rd. Classic is all over this. ByuN not able to break the defenses of Classic. And clutch overcharge, clutch recall. Classic pulls away, races back home, getting a fourth. And ByuN is yet to start his own fourth CC. Okay, it's just been a very chaotic game. A lot of damage being done on both sides. Now ByuN has 3 ghosts, 3 EMPs. We have to make them count. Rocks are being knocked down. Classic has potential for a surround. ByuN rotating towards the right-hand side. Ooh, and Classic does barely spot some of the army. But there's no recall. Oh, Classic, do we commit to the base trade? We have to. We have to commit. Nexus goes down. Classic moving out. No, he's racing back home. Classic comes back. Lost the fourth. And ByuN, from here, he can just back off. I say that he might commit to a fight. That's EMP. EMP connects. ByuN pulling away. Spotting Classic. Yeah, Classic going for his own counterattack, catching reinforcements. At least trying to. But Classic might get surrounded here. Yeah, Classic in an awkward position. Here comes a surround. Classic with only half his army. 2 Colossus getting caught out. There's no way out of this. The army sims in. Classic getting caught out. Not like this. Saves 1 Colossus, saves both. Oh my god, the juggling. Spoke too soon. 1 Colossus does fall. Yeah, who surrounds who as Classic has to back off and to take a lot of losses there. Lost his 4th base, Colossus, sentries, most of his gateway army. And now ByuN takes a massive lead. Another big EMP. ByuN, he can snowball out of control from here. Another EMP on the Archons. The Archons, they melt. Overcharge gets popped. ByuN, he respects the overcharge. They'll counterattack across the map. Oh, there are only a handful of reinforcements. Oh, the mine shots. The mine shots are going to be enough. ByuN defends. ByuN cleans up. I can focus on this main push. 3-3 is almost done. Is on the way. And ByuN just has to calm things down, play it safe, getting a 4th. Planetary's on the way. Still Rambe being set up, but alas, the planetary should be done. I say that the Zealots, they have arrived. Let's force back the main army. ByuN turns back around. SCVs are falling. ByuN wants to commit. The Zealots will be cleaned up. He's moving out. Knows he has momentum. Gets another big EMP. Once again, the Archons do fall. The Disruptor as well. And ByuN just has too much. He shuts down the Archons, the Colossus, the Disruptors. Everything just crumbles. Reinforcements are on the way. ByuN, he will just overwhelm. GG gets called, and ByuN will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Oh my god. Mate, we're gonna have a lot to talk about when it comes to the podcast and wrapping up the weekly tournaments. It's gonna be like, okay, so ByuN, he won this, he won this, he won. It's winning everything. It's crazy. I say that GG, well played. ByuN does advance onto the grand finals. My condolences to Classic. I mean, that was a very chaotic game 3. There were moments, good moments from both players, when ByuN was bleeding out a lot of SCVs. Likewise, Classic was building up towards Colossus, towards Disruptors, but he was pulled apart. The winning move for ByuN was, of course, when he was able to counterattack across the map, when Classic was out of position, and ByuN was able to get a kill on the 4th base, and also catch out the main army in the center of the map as well. In a way, just out-positioning Classic. And with that, GG. GG, well played. ByuN does take the series, and we are now getting ready for the upper semifinals. It's going to be a best of 3 between Gumiho and Rex. You heard me right there. We had Rex versus Dark earlier on the channel, and Rex pulled off a crazy upset. He brought Dark down in a ZVZ, and that means that the unlikeliest of heroes is in the semis. Rex is there to represent the Zerg race. And can he go further? It was already an amazing performance bringing down Dark. Rex is now in the money. Top 4 do get paid out. But can he go further? Can he go further? As up next, Gumiho versus Rex is going to be on the channel. Let's go.